Here's one of those ukuleles where people say, is that a, or maybe it's a, or is it a? Keep watching. Yeah, hello, it's Ukulele Review Day again. Thanks for tuning in. As always, this is your summary video review. Look at all the links below. You'll get a lot more information about the instrument. Thanks again to those who've donated to keep this site going. GotAUkulele is not brand sponsored by anybody in the influencer way. I do this off my own back. And also think about subscribing, the button, the ding, the bell, you know, what's what. Anyway, okay, I put a sneak preview, and I'm showing it you here, aren't I put a sneak preview of this on social media this week, and it gained all sorts of guesses, most of them incorrect, as to what it was, and it's because of that design. This one though is the Paisen concert, Rosewood concert, also made in a tenor scale. Distinctive looking thing, but this is a review that's taken ages to write because there's all sorts of confusing elements and details that need to be touched on that don't or shouldn't have to be touched on, and it's kind of irritated me. But anyway, let's have a look at it. First of all, Paisen, or is it a Tianyu? And the reason I say that is because these are Amazon only, I'm afraid, and looking at the reviews, some people, in fact even looking at the product pictures, not all of them are labelled Paisen, some of them are labelled Tianyu. No, it doesn't bother me, it's just another name, but it'd be nice to know what you're going to get. And in fact, I wondered whether I was getting a Tianyu, but I got a Paisen, but they look otherwise the same. So that's the first little irritation. It's made of rosewood, although it's laminate rosewood, and there's my second gripe, is that it's one of those brands that doesn't really go to any great lengths to tell you it's laminate. In fact, it's called truly rosewood in their product description. It is laminate rosewood. Rosewood's attractive as an instrument for making, and you've got two pieces on the top, two pieces on that slightly curved back, not great book matching on the back there actually, two pieces on the sides, but it's laminate, you know, it's stripy, it's dark, that's what it is. But it's it may be laminate in terms of sheets of laminate, because on the inside it looks pretty dark as well, but still laminate, and they don't really go to great lengths, as I say, to tell you that. Before we come on to this, which is what I really want to mention, let's get the other details out of the way. The bridge is a slot style. It's alright. It's glossed though, which I don't like. It's actually pretty scruffy, particularly around the where the plug holes are there that are filled with pearl that screw it on. And I'm glad it's screwed on, because actually there's quite a bit of a gap, which is difficult to show you, on this bottom edge. So if that was just glued, I suspect that would be coming off fairly soon. But we have to come on to the decoration. And there's two elements to the decoration. One I like, and one that just, I wouldn't say I dislike, but irritates me. And the one I like is this top edge binding, which is sort of wooden pieces inlaid in on the top and the back. And I think it contrasts brilliantly with that rosewood. I remember seeing a snail ukulele that was rosewood that used this same style, and I really liked it there, and I like it here. But we have to come on to this, and the reason why that looks familiar is not only is it on so many other ukuleles, that design was actually created by the Ovation Guitar Company, and they put it on some of their bowl back guitars. It's not really my cup of tea. People ask what it is. Some people think it's a koi carp or an animal. It's actually a vine leaf or an oak leaf, I believe, and these are the sound holes. Now, yeah, okay, it's been used before. I don't know whether Ovation have licensed this to brands to use. They may well have done, rather than brands just ripping it off, but I don't really care. It's derivative, and it's lazy. It's been done before. It's nothing original anymore. And you'd be playing this and people say, oh, is that an Ovation? No, it's a Paisen, or it's a Tianyu, or indeed it's a whatever else. And I've seen a list of names that people have said, oh, I've got one of those made by XYZ. None of them are Paisen, none of them are Ovation. I think that's a real shame. I don't really like it. All right, okay, let's move on. The whole body is then finished in an open bore satin, which is unremarkable, but pretty tidily done, to be honest. Inside, a bit messy in there, really. You have a look at the picture. I've got the best photograph I can. Notched linings, that kind of thing. The neck is unspecified. It's pale, maybe mahogany, maybe NATO, something like that. Akume. The joint at the heel, joint at the headstock. They're not that obvious, to be honest. What I don't like is it's really Far Eastern broom handle round on the back in profile. It's only 34mm at the nut and 27 from G2A, so that's too narrow for me. Topped with rosewood fingerboards, nice curving down here. I don't like the sort of stripe that doesn't sort of go one way or the other on the rosewood. I prefer them dark. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to the body. So it's a fairly short neck concert. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 full frets. I'm not counting those half frets. They're not edge bound, but they've stained the ends black to kind of hide them. They're sharp. Then this needs a setup, which is annoying. Position dots face out at 5, 7, 10, double at the 12th, one at the 15th. No side dots. There's another gripe. They're mounting up, these gripes, for me. There we are. Too narrow, that nut, and those frets are really sharp. I think the nut, and incidentally I didn't mention the saddle also is straight topped, and I think it's plastic. Okay, headstock. That's Canalea-esque in shape. There's the Paisen logo inlaid in wood. The Tianyu model, I think, is engraved. It's faced in more of the rosewood. So there's that. Incidentally, talking about that Tianyu logo, if you get the Tianyu one of these, like I say, I don't know whether you're going to know whether you're going to get one or not. It comes etched on the top with the words ukulele guitar. I would be mortified if I paid for an instrument. I did pay for this instrument, but this is for review, not for me. But I'd be mortified if I bought one and it had ukulele guitar etched into the top of it. What were they thinking? Anyway, this is the Paisen. It doesn't have that. The tuners, generic, unbranded chrome gears. They're actually fitted a bit wonky. They're really, really cheap ones as well. I can see some pitting on the chrome plating. It's hard to show you, I'm afraid, in the light, but then pretty wonky. They're all different tensions, particularly this one, which is really loose on the C string. They're pretty cheap. And it comes with nylon strings. It comes with a padded gig bag, which is alright. It's supposed to come with a capo, picks, spare strings, tuner, that kind of thing, strap. Mine came with nothing. Now, I haven't marked the score down for that point because it really doesn't bother me. I've got more straps and tuners and whatnot lying around on shelves than I know what to do with. But they're not essential, and I never sort of mark instruments up when they arrive with those things because it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. Those things are cheap. However, it is an indication of the pitfalls of buying online. Of course, buying from Amazon, you just send it back and you get another one. But what a waste. What a waste that is, and that annoys me as well. So, it's all right. I don't like the derivative lazy design. I don't like the fact they try and big it up to be super rosewood when it's just laminate rosewood. It's actually quite thick rosewood as well, looking at the top edge. The neck is far too narrow for me and round. The tuners are horrible. And the price, £70, something like that. I mean, it's one of those dynamically priced things on Amazon, so God knows what it is today. It was £70 when I bought it for the review. You also get a couple of strap buttons. But we've got to play it. Let's just the weight. It's not light, but it's not heavy. There's a heft to it, possibly because there's rosewood in there, but it's rosewood veneer, so I suspect not. There's a heft to it. It's a bit body heavy, very slightly body heavy. Not the worst I've ever seen, and certainly not neck heavy. But let's get it tuned up. And one thing you might notice as I'm doing this is there's a buzz. It's not a huge buzz, and it's not the setup, because the setup looks kind of alright. But there's a buzz. So that needs to be weeded out. The fret ends need to be tidied up. Where's that buzz coming from? It might be that loose tuner button, which is a bit more of a... Yes, I think it is. There we are. But you know what? I'm just tuning it now. I don't like the tone. It's really bright and thin. Volume is alright, not the best. I've played much louder instruments at this price. Sustain, average. I don't like how brittle it sounds. Pretty one-dimensional. Okay, works. So ukulele needs a setup. I don't really like the sound, and this is one of those ones where some of the YouTube influencers are falling over backwards to say how wonderful it is. What, for a laminate ukulele that's trying to make itself out to be something it isn't? It's not woeful. I've played much worse. That tone though is really just nothing really exciting about it, or no warmth to it at all. That's really not doing it for me. That's the main issue. Setup, yeah, that they can vary and can be fixed. So bear those in mind when I say that. They shouldn't happen, but this one has. No, I don't like the tone. I don't like the derivative looks. 70 quid. It's cheap. There we are. Just about gets over the line into the 8s, I think, on the score. I haven't quite finalised what the scoring will be, so don't quote me on that. But there we are. The Paisen Rosewood concert, or is it a Tianyu? It's not an ovation, that's for sure. But it could be one of many other things as well. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go carefully. Stay safe. See you soon. Bye-bye.